What's going on, my people? Hey man, it's been a minute, so today we're gonna cook up a beat for ESTG. You already know this thing about to be evil, hard, slapping. Shit, I'm running out of adjectives, dog. But hey, if your head get to bobbing while you're watching this video, you gotta hit that like button for me. Sub if you haven't already, because I got videos coming every week. And you know these tutorials be fire. Just look in the comments, man. Hey, that's it for me. Let's get into this cook up. We at FL 165 BPM. We're in the key of D sharp minor starting out, and I had this just you pad from Analog Lab 5. So this is what we got. Very simple, man. So first off, if you don't know, you can come up here to this arrow on the top left, go to view, scale highlighting, and you can choose what scale you want to work in. So if you right click D sharp and then right click minor natural, that'll highlight. You see these lit up spaces here. Some are dark, some are light. The light ones are in key, the dark ones are out of key. So you'll always be in key like this. D sharp minor is my favorite key because it's all the black keys and like 2 additional ones. So I can even play it on my MIDI keyboard with no piano experience. Anyway, man, let's get into it. So if you want to make a chord, all you gotta do is put down a note. We're gonna put one on our root note, D sharp. We're gonna skip one of the highlighted spaces, go to the next one. Skip one of the highlighted spaces, go to the next one. That's a minor chord. Now to make this chord progression here, all you have to do is simply use the same exact chord and drop this middle note, which is also called the third, right there. It's called the third because if you count, it's the third note in the chord. So we drop that one, and now we have this. Now that sounds cool, but we can sauce it up just a little bit more by doing an inversion. And to do that, all we're gonna do is highlight these 2 middle notes, the 2 thirds, and we're gonna pitch it up an octave by hitting Control and up on the arrow key. And now the chords have a little bit more range. So this is what it sounds like now. It gives a little bit more energy, man. It's like, you know, little things. From there, we just take our 2 bottom notes, our root notes. We're gonna hold shift and click. That'll duplicate it, and then we can just hit Control and down on the arrow key. And then we're gonna shift click again and Control down one more time just to add some bass notes. And that's what we have for this melody. As far as the effects go, I just simply have an EQ on here, just cutting out some of the lows. All right, for our next sound, we are back in Analog Lab 5 and we have this location keys preset. We're using the exact same chords. I just copy and pasted it over, and I just added a few small touches. So first, I threw in this D sharp just about halfway through each of them, just to give it a kind of cool rhythm as the melody's playing. And I also took the slice tool and I cut each of the chords in half, just in certain spots, just to give it more bounce. So this is what we have, no effects. Very, very simple, man. All right, so let's go over these effects that I added one by one. First, we have this effect rack, and we have it on the phase reversal groove preset. And this is just adding like textures, some graininess to it, like just a lot of different stuff to the melody. So this is what it sounds like. Now that sounds pretty good, but it's a little bit out of control. So what I also added was this halftime, and I have it on the default preset. So this is what the halftime did to it. So as you can see, that halftime really kind of tames it down a little bit. Then we added this RC20 for a little bit of extra color, and we have it on the No More Boring Pads preset. Oh, that's a tongue full. No more boring pads. And then we just also added a simple EQ just to cut out some of the low in there. So this is what it sounds like with all the effects on. I can live with that. All right, and then last we added this life arpeggio from Analog Lab 5. Took the same exact chords, nothing crazy there. Let me turn off these effects. So this is what it sounds like with no effects. So you get the idea. Arpeggios are really sauce, man. You don't have to do too much with arpeggios and they gon', you know what I'm saying, they can really sauce up your melodies. So from there, we'll go through one by one. We have this halftime on the 1/2 setting here. So here's what it sounds like now. So you can see that halftime instantly makes a difference in that melody. From there, I added my own effect rack preset here. I just threw in a crystallizer to give the sound a little extra texture and grains, a little extra, you know, feel to it. And then I put in this Echo Boy as well, because Echo Boy is gonna add some delay as well as some reverb to our melody. So this is what it sounds like. So I really feel like that sauced it up a lot. And then we just do on a EQ, taking out some of the lows, and then soothe too, just to cut out some of the harsh frequencies. So all together, this is what we have. The last bit of melody that I added was this LA Custom C7 wash. Y'all know the rules, man. We're just throwing in this piano, some bass notes, just to give the melody a little bit more depth. And I'll show you how you can really sauce up your dark beats with a simple melody like this with a piano. But this is what it sounds like. Very simple. All right, so from there, we took our pattern to the playlist. So if we drag in our patterns, that's the first melodies, this is the piano. If you just go here and right click and click render and replace, this is gonna turn your melody into a wave. So any sounds that's playing, any effects, it's all gonna get consolidated into a waveform like this. And then we can manipulate this bad boy. So what I did was I reversed it first, and then I pitched it up 200 cents. And that essentially got us this melody up here, which I'll play for you in a second. And then for the piano, I just went to here, render and replace as well. And we have our piano, which I also reversed. So once I did that, this is what our melody is sounding like. So now we getting into the sauce, man. So look, from there, I took this reversed melody, Control Alt and C to consolidate it. And basically I just turned it into a new separate pattern, because with this one, what I did was I opened it up and I turned this multiplicator knob down to 50%, which it'll show you in the top left-hand corner. You can't really see it on my screen right now, but I turn it down to 50% here. And basically what that does is it double times the melody. So it speeds it up ×2. So that's gonna really give our melody energy. So this is what it sounds like when I did that. Very simple way to add that energy to the melody, man. Then from there, I consolidated this melody, Control Alt and C again, and I turned it into this pattern down here. And with this one, I changed this range to 12 and pitched it up an octave. So this is what that part sounds like. Very simple, man. It's all using the same melody we already created, but now we have 3 separate sections of the same thing. And then you heard it earlier for the piano, I just reversed it and then I unreversed it. So the piano, like I said, a reverse piano, man, that's gonna add a lot of tension, a lot of just that evil lurking feeling to your dark melodies, man. And it's almost like a natural transition as well. It just sounds really good. So all together, this is what our melody sounds like. crazy. All right, now for the drums, because the melody is so fast, we're at 165 BPM. We don't need to do a whole lot with our drums, man. We just need to get a good bounce going, a good rhythm going. So let's get into this thing, man. Y'all already know what we got going on with the clap and the snare. We're just on the 3 and the 7. So this is what that sounds like. So let me show you how I sauced up the hi-hats. Cause y'all know I'm good for a simple 2-step hi-hat pattern. But I like to do most of my effects through Looperator, man. If you don't have Looperator, that's one that I highly recommend if you struggle with your hi-hats. So with Looperator here, we added in this 8th roll. These envelopes are basically controlling the volume of the hi-hats as they're playing. So it's just adding like a cool kind of bounce to the hi-hats without really changing anything in it. It's just controlling the volume of it. And then we have these little things here. They're basically like reverse hi-hats. So I'll play that for you one more time with the Looperator on the screen so you can kind of see where it's affecting what. So it's very subtle what the envelopes are doing, but you can feel it for sure. From there, we add in our percussion. We just trying to get a cool little bounce, like a nice little background texture with these percussions. So we have 2 open hats and 3 perks. So here's what that sounds like. Very simple with the percussion, man. And the 808, everybody's favorite part. So we got this 808 here, very simple pattern. We are just following the root note of the melody. So we were on D sharp minor. I pitched it up by 200 cents. We're on F minor now. Yeah, man, we're just following the root note here. On this section, I play with the velocities a little bit just to give it a nice little bounce going into the second half. And then we're just playing with a couple notes here just to kind of make it bounce, pause. And then we got a simple roll at the end just to keep the momentum going into the loop. So this is what our 808 sound like. Now, if you want to make your 808 punch like that, I'm about to put y'all on game. First of all, have your velocities turn all the way. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. Your velocities is what's controlling the dynamic of the sound. So imagine you hitting a key on the keyboard. If you hit it hard and fast, that's way different than if I press it soft, right? Now, you can have your 808s. You press them soft and turn the volume up. It's still going to be a soft 808. It's just a louder, soft 808. We turn the velocities up, that changes the whole dynamic of the 808, man. So if you really wanted to slap, just turn up the velocity first off. If that's still not enough, then you come in here to your channel settings, click on this little light bulb looking thing, and you can boost it a little bit. Now, you hold down control when you're moving this knob, because that's going to move your increments by 1% at a time. And you don't want to boost your 808 too much because it's going to sound ridiculous, my nigga. So we only boosted this about 3%. If you look at the waveform as well, when I move it, that's just too much, bro. You don't want all that clipping, you know? You just really want maybe like the first 4 waves of the waveform, you know what I'm saying, outside of this box range. And then what you can also do, what I did here, I boosted this EQ knob by about 20%. So if you affect this, you can see that also kind of affects the 808. So I only did about 20% there, man, and that got my 808 knocking how I wanted it. Now, as far as mixing goes on the drums, we're not doing anything too crazy. So for my snares and my rim shot, I have them all in mono here. The rim shot is just for this bridge section here, so I just added a little bit of reverb to it. And honestly, I think I'll turn down the decay on that a little bit because it's doing a little too much. I like that. So we have all of our snares and rims in mono. We have our 808 in mono as well. We just put a soft clipper on the 808 and we cut out some of the highs of that 808 with just the FL default mixer EQ. I stereo separated my hi-hats just a little bit with this knob here. And then as far as the percussion go, like the perks and stuff, I just panned them to my liking. So a few of the open hats to the left, a few of the open hats to the right, some of the perks to the left, some of the perks to the right. Then you just adjust the volume as need be. But that's pretty much all we did on the drums, man. If you have good drum samples, you don't got to do too much mixing to your drums. So all together, this is our beat. There you go, man. Easy little beat for ESTG. That thing knocking. So I think I did my job. Now y'all just gotta do y'all job, man. Hey, if you learned something in this video, if your head got the bobbing, drop your boy a like, man. Sub if you haven't already, because we got them videos coming every week, dog. Hey, hit that noti bell as well, so you know as soon as I drop them, you can hire right on these tutorials, man. But that's it for me for this one. Y'all boys be easy.